So let's talk a little bit about explicit waits. What is an explicit wait? Well, an explicit wait is the code that actually you write to wait for a certain condition to occur before proceeding. If you noticed with the implicit wait, we actually didn't write any code to wait for any conditions. What we did was we set an implicit wait property to a specific time span. However, we didn't write any code to be waiting for any kind of conditions, right? We didn't wait for an element to be hidden. We didn't wait for an element to be visible or displayed, or for text to be contained inside of an element, or any kind of that stuff. An implicit wait is already set by Selenium, and it's also set in the browser. Each browser has their own implicit wait implementation, and so we just set it. However, with an explicit wait, you write the code and tell Selenium Webdriver to wait for a specific condition. Don't worry, you'll see with code examples. So usage, I will show you that in the code. It's not going to fit in this tiny little slide box. I'll show you that in the code, as that will be the best place to see all of this. The default timeout for an explicit wait is half a second. What does that mean? It means that if you don't specify the time for an explicit wait to wait for a specific condition, half a second will be the amount of time that it waits before it throws an exception. The disadvantages of an explicit wait are that, well, it's actually only one, is that it should be used for all slow loading elements, which means that you might have a couple lines of code anytime you need to do a synchronization point, right? So whenever you're switching between different kinds of pages and you want to have a synchronization point, you need a couple lines of code that utilize an explicit wait. It's not a big deal because that is kind of required for you to avoid flakiness. However, it can, obviously add a few lines of code to your code base. So when should you use explicit waits? You should use them for all slow loading elements that need a synchronization point. So like I said, anytime you're switching between pages and there's a slow loading element, synchronize on that element for that page prior to proceeding with any other actions. That's when you use an explicit wait. Now, let's go and actually look at the code, see how explicit waits solve all the problems that implicit waits fail to solve, and then I'll also show you the problems that Selenium, a new version of Selenium, has caused us.